Okay, that's just to synchronize it. Okay. So the way that I arrange these cameras is that I want both cameras to be looking in the same direction. And right now I'm thinking, okay, I'm in one room. Okay, I'm looking at the bottom and I'm looking at the walls. Okay. So right now I'm thinking, this blue square on the bottom is the same blue square on the top. But they have different sides. Okay. So in one world you're completely locked in the other world you're not. But they're both the same world because they both touch the same. One of the first things that I figured out that was kind of like a mind blown for me was that if I touch this blue square, I'm also touching that square on top. It's the same one. Like if you touch one wall, you're touching the same wall in different dimensions. That's kind of what's happening here. Okay, so I'm looking in all directions. There's nothing there. And then the top, I'll make the top camera be the super dimension. Then I shift my eyes. Okay, I shift my eyes super dimensionally. Oh look, oh crap. I gotta go back, I don't understand this. Now it's very easy to do a 3D maze when you have everything set up the right way. What I'm trying to do is understand this dimensional shift. And I won't be able to do that if I just do a 3D maze. Okay, so when I shift my eyes on top camera, what is happening to the bottom? Shift my eyes this way. Okay. This is a regular room. It's a regular room. When I shift my eyes into the super dimension, the whole world changes. How does this world change? What direction am I looking? Okay. That means that if I shift my eyes to the super dimension, I, I get rid of a dimension, I sacrifice one dimension, that's what's going on. I sacrifice one dimension to be able to incorporate that fourth dimension. But this is the only function of this is to treat my world as still as 3D. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. There's another game called Mediocre or something like that, and it kind of has this shift where you shift the amount of which three dimensions you want to travel in. And then you just keep shifting which three dimensions you want to travel in, so that you'll be able to get across in different worlds to the world, right? So you can navigate through the world through that dimension. Okay, so that's what's going on here. I'm sacrificing one dimension. Okay, so here you have red blocks and you have blue blocks. I sacrifice the blue blocks so I can look into the third dimension. And I've sacrificed the blue dimension. Let's put it that way. Holy crap. Okay, how would that look like in the real world? In the real world, there's three dimensions. I'd have to sacrifice one of these three dimensions in order to be able to look into the fourth. It would look completely different. Okay, I'm back here. Okay. So I think go back. Okay, so this is top one will be the dimension switcher. Let's put it that way. The bottom will be the navigator. And every time, okay, to be careful because I don't know, I'm not really sure how to navigate this. Remember, I'll practice unknown protocol here. So every step that I take, I have to reanalyze everything from the original perspective. So that's unknown protocol. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the top as a dimension switcher and the bottom as a navigator. Okay. Holy crap, no, I can't do that. Look at that. I sacrificed the blue dimension. I sacrificed the green dimension now. So I have to think about which dimension I want to sacrifice. I can't just switch whatever dimension. And I need to know that this red block right here is the same as that red block. How can I know that? I don't know if I can know that. I mean, I know it's the same, but the world looks completely different. My brain doesn't grasp it. My mind is not grasping it. So I have to carefully analyze it until it grasps that red block. I know it's the same because I already thought about it. Logically, it makes sense. But I haven't wrapped my mind around it because it just looks different. You know, if it's an illusion, I want to be able to understand how the illusion is made, understand what I'm seeing and why it makes an illusion. So, that red block down there, okay, let's go back to the original world, which is this one. It's the same red block as there. Wait. Watch this, watch this. See how on the bottom the exit is right there? Okay, it's to my left. Okay? And now the exit is to my right. You can see it right there. Right there. In order to confirm that I've grasped it, I need to be able to predict that. I need to be able to predict that. In one perspective, the exit will be to my right, and in the other perspective, the exit will be to my left. I cannot predict that. I do not understand how that works, so that's how I know that I haven't grasped it, that I haven't grasped the whole directionality of this thing. So for now, let's work slowly. So the top one will be the dimension sacrificer. So how about this? Just to make things simple. The dimension that I'm facing is the dimension that I will sacrifice. So now we'll look what happens to the wall. The wall completes. That's the dimension switcher. This will be what I actually. The top is the dimension switcher. The bottom is what I see. I sacrifice the dimension that I'm looking toward. What is static? Okay, so the static means that I'm sacrificing that dimension. Shut up. So I'm sacrificing that. That's it. I sacrifice that dimension. So the static, okay. Static means, I mean, in the game, it simply means that you can't visualize what's going on there because you're rotating in a dimension that doesn't exist, or you're rotating in a dimension that you're not, it's not visualizable in that aspect. So it's as simple as that. But for me to wrap my head around it, I have to think of the static as the dimension, as the direction that I'm looking in, that dimension is being sacrificed. So that's what I'm thinking the static to be. Okay, so let's do that. So let's say I want to sacrifice that dimension. Okay. Okay. So whether I'm facing, so now I'm thinking about the real one. If I'm facing that way, I'm going to sacrifice that dimension. I'll look up into the fourth dimension, okay. Then everything else will exist the same way that it is, except instead of looking there, I'm looking up. Okay. And if I look that way, I sacrifice that dimension. So everything else will be the same, except back and forth will actually be up and down. I'm trying to think about how it will actually seem in the 3D world. Does it mean that everything there will be gone? Will I be able to see that? Yes, a little bit. I wonder to what extent or to what degree I will be able to see the wall of my room. Because, strictly speaking, the only dimension that I'm sacrificing is looking straight that way. And I'm sacrificing all the angles to a certain degree. Straight ahead, I'm sacrificing completely. And as I rotate, I'm sacrificing all of that perspective to the degree that it's in a depth dimension. So it's in a depth dimension. So I'm trying to visualize it. I'm trying to see what that would be like. I guess it would look like that looking straight ahead is gone completely, or switched with something else, whatever's in the fourth dimension. And as I tilt my sight, as I rotate my sight, everything else will be gone to a lesser and lesser degree. So I look that way. Okay, I will start a new maze because the old one's gone. Okay, so this is the room. And this will be the dimension switcher. The top will be the dimension switcher right again. Okay, so I have that visualization. It's completely gone. So that visualization that I just thought about, that everything's gone to a degree that way, it's not the same thing that happens in the maze. Huh. What happens in the maze is more like all the flat surfaces, I mean, strictly speaking, all the flat surfaces that are facing this way, they're completely switched with something else. So now I'm thinking about that. It's not everything that I see. It's not that everything straight to my side is completely gone and everything else is gone to a degree. It's more like everything that is facing, that is flat this way is completely switched with something else. So all the bumps on the wall, if there's a mound that looks like this will exist, but not this. Anyway, let's continue trying to push things. So I have this dimension switcher, look up. I just confused myself. I'll have to go back. I will walk. Oh my gosh, no, I'm not ready to walk. I know that if I move forward, I'm going to move forward in that dimension as well, but I have no idea what's going on there, dude. So I'm going to ignore everything that's in this third dimension here, because I have no. All I'm aware of in the real world is this. That's what's going on here. All that I'm aware of. So that means that as I'm walking in this world, I'm also moving in the extra dimension without me even knowing it. That means that in the real world, as I walk through my house, there's kind of, I guess, portals open, if you want to put it that way. I'm also navigating through the fourth dimension, and as I'm maneuvering in the 3D world, I'm also maneuvering through the fourth dimension. And depending on where I am in the 3D world, the fourth dimension in that area may have portals, they may not. Okay. So for example, if I remained in this spot right here, in this spot, I won't be able to move in the third dimension, because I can look into the fourth dimension and see it's blocked, and look into the fourth dimension the other way and see it's blocked, so I can't move. So compare that to, but if I step forward over here, then I look into the fourth dimension, and it's blocked. Then I look into the fourth dimension, and it's open. It's a whole new depth, a whole new world. So what does that mean compared? So say I'm in my room, and in my room I can't navigate into the fourth dimension. So I have to move around in the 3D world to find a place where I will be able to navigate into the fourth dimension. Let's say it starts off with my room, and I'd have to go outside or go into the kitchen or go into the restroom to find a spot where I would be able to navigate into the fourth dimension, depending on the setup of the fourth dimension. Okay. I forgot about the sacrificing dimension stuff. Let's go back. Okay, this is the Dimensional Sacrificer, but as I'm looking at the Dimensional Sacrificer, I can anticipate. Let's say I can anticipate. I'll see it as anticipate, because it's as you know. I'm trying to not think of it as a navigator. I'm only trying to think of it as a sacrificer, but I can see what's ahead. So I don't want to say I want to see what's ahead, because that implies that it's a navigator. Because I want to think of it as a sacrificer, I'll say that I can anticipate. The blocks that there will be if I move in that direction. So that means that if I had peripheral view, okay, so this is me turning my eyes into the fourth dimension, but I could also have peripheral vision of the fourth dimension. Okay, so me turning my eyes into the fourth dimension, I'll sacrifice that, whatever direction I'm looking at, in order to see into the fourth dimension. Okay. But I can also have peripheral view into the fourth dimension. See, right now I'm trying to visualize having peripheral view into the fourth dimension from the third dimension. Peripheral view into the fourth dimension. That's the anticipation, that's kind of like the instinct that you get of where the openings are and where they're not. So you want to be able to visually see them, unless you can visually see them, unless you train your eyes that way. But let's say, just to kind of incorporate another sense too, so you don't have to overlap visually, let's say you can anticipate, you can sense, not visually, but some other sense of where there are places in which you can travel into the fourth dimension and where there are not. Okay. Peripheral vision into the fourth dimension. Oh, look at that. I moved forward accidentally. Okay, so that's important. I'll move back. Okay, so the real world looks like this, but my peripheral fourth dimensional vision, from that I will anticipate what's around me, and eventually I will sacrifice one direction in order to actually look into the fourth dimension. If I sacrifice it, and if I don't switch back, I will be very confused by the world. I mean, look at that. It looks completely different. I don't know where I am, or it doesn't look the least familiar to me. It's crazy. I can't do this. Did I just? Oh my goodness. It's facing the other way. I'm upside down. I'm upside down. Oh my goodness, I'm upside down. Let me try and get back to wherever this was. Darn it, what the heck, man? See, I'm lost. I don't know how to switch it back. I don't know how to switch it back. See, that just goes to show that shoot. I don't know how to switch it. I don't know how to switch it back. Simple as that. So, because it used to be that corner used to have the opening, and that corner did not. And now everything's turned around. Okay. Is that it? No, it's not. It's not even it. Because it has the... No. I can't get back to my original orientation. So, what I'm thinking happened here is that I'm upside down. I turned myself upside down somehow. I don't know how. I don't know when it happened. I'm starting to doubt when it happened. But I can't turn myself upside right anymore. And I don't know. I don't have enough familiarity. Okay. Shoot. What the heck, man? I'm thinking of just working with this. But no, this is gonna bug me. Okay. Ooh. What happened there? Actually, it didn't. Okay. I don't understand what happened. I know I did a 180 degree somewhere, and that fixed it. The 180 degree fixed it. But I don't know why. Okay, so let's go back to the original one. Let's say I have peripheral fourth dimensional vision. This is the real world that I see, and this is peripheral vision that I sense. Somewhat tricky. The red walls that you see right here, these red walls, the pink and the red wall, they are the same as these pink and red walls. You see where the X is at? That one and that one is the same thing as that one. But that one and that one is different than that one and that one. The reason why these red walls are the same, that one and that one, is because I'm staying in the same spot. But these are off in the distance. That one and that one are off in the distance. So when I switch direction, so it's not even just navigation, but when you switch directions, in the third dimension, what you see in the fourth dimension off to the distance will also change. I'm not ready to start navigating. I'm not ready to just take a step because I I don't even understand how this switching direction looks like. Alright, let's see if we can find out anything with what we have. So, I'll navigate in the real world. With my peripheral fourth dimensional vision, my fourth dimensional sense, I realize that I'm stuck here, yes, but I can travel into the fourth dimension direction. I sacrifice blue wall to peer into the fourth dimension where I am. The world changes. I'm now peering into the fourth dimension. Let's peer back just to get some grounding, just to get my footing again. Okay, that's what it looks like. I'll hold on to the green wall. Holding on to the green wall as I peer into the fourth dimension. This is a new direction. Do I want to walk into that direction? Yes. The reason why I don't want to walk into it is because on the top the familiarity on the top is different than the familiarity on the bottom. They both have some familiarity, but they're overlapping familiarity, and I cannot consolidate one with the other. I do not know how they go together. I cannot take a step into the fourth dimension because okay, the wall that I'm sacrificing. Look. Holy crap! What the heck, man? I will be forever gone from this room, man. If I get back into this room, this L room, this L looking room, if I get back to it the wrong way, things will never be the same. Watch this. I'll show you an example. Oh my goodness, I'm already lost. Look at it. Now it's facing the other way. See what I mean? And that's why I can't. That's why I can't sacrifice it. Okay, so let's not look anywhere. Let's use a little bit of information because we're running out of time. Let's use a little bit of information that we know for sure, and only that, and only those principles to navigate through the maze. Okay, so what we know, the principles that we know for sure is dimension sacrificer, peripheral sense, or the fourth dimension. Okay, so I'm going into this spot of the room. Sacrifice. Okay. Sacrifice that dimension in order to look into the fourth dimension. We're looking into it. Move one block at a time. That's all we know how to do. Then go back. Completely stop. We can either go back to where we were, or we can take another step. Okay, so what did we just do here? We sacrificed the dimension, we moved into that direction, and then we unsacrificed that dimension. By doing that. That means we moved into the fourth dimension, and we got our moved into the fourth dimension and we got our three-dimensional vision back. So now we're in the same spot, in the same three-dimensional world, but we're on a higher plane. It's not really higher because higher is 3D, but we're on a higher plane now. And in this higher plane, I'm stuck in a room. Okay. Now, if you look at the top one, the fourth dimensional sense, the fourth dimensional peripheral vision is going nuts, man. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, it's open on both sides. Alright, so I don't know how this works, so I'm just going to do step by step by the principles that we know. So we're going to go one level higher into the fourth dimension. We're going to go back. On this even higher plane, well, it looks the same as the original. Do not be fooled. I don't think this is the same. Are we back in the same spot? No, we're not. Yeah, this is in the same spot. Okay, so let's explore this. Let's explore this higher level. Okay, so this is limited. I don't know if it's higher or lower because I didn't pay attention if I was moving in the pink direction or in the red direction. I think it has been the pink. Nonetheless. Those are limited. Now if we look, I'm anticipating that if we look to the red direction, that's where we came from. But let's not get confused. Okay. That's where we came from. That's where we are now in this higher plane. So we're going to move in the direction of this one, using only the principles that we know, nothing else. Let's not go crazy with our imagination here. We moved in this direction. Now we're on a different spot in the room that we couldn't get to originally, I'm assuming. Yeah, we couldn't get to it originally because there was a wall in the way. But we moved higher, we moved on a higher plane twice. And from that higher plane we were able to continue going through the wall that originally stopped us. And now we're going to go down a lower plane. Move back. Now we're at a lower plane. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So we're stuck there. So we have to go back. Okay. So we're back at the 2 times higher plane. Okay. Using the principle that when you move in a 3D world, you can also get a depending on your position in the 3D world, you will have different types of access to the 4D. So I'm just maneuvering here. So go there. Oh my goodness, this is the part of the maze where I get limitations here. So everything lost color. I don't know where I am anymore. But we learn. Okay, so I'll finish there. Here, I'll show you how easily I can do this. All right. The point is not to finish the maze. The point is to grasp the navigation. If you want to finish the maze, you can just finish the maze. If you really wanted to, I'll show you. Oh gosh, really? There it is. No, so I made it out, but I still don't understand it at all. Okay, but I'll finish the video there. I'll continue trying to figure out this thing, but those are interesting things that we learned. If you move in the three-dimensional world, depending on your position on the three-dimensional world, you have that type of access to the fourth dimension. If you peer into the fourth-dimensional world, you sacrifice the dimension that you were originally looking at, and also peripheral. So looking into the, what was the first one? Okay. So and then peripheral vision. You can kind of get a sense of the fourth dimension of your axis in the fourth dimension, depending on your peripheral vision. And then what else? So moving, sacrificing. Okay, so moving in the 3D affects the 4D. Sacrificing one dimension, the direction you're looking at for the fourth dimension. Peripheral vision. I think there's another one that we learned, another principle. I also had to keep track of how many levels I was moving into the fourth dimension. Then move back. Yeah. Some crazy stuff. I'm gonna stop the video.